Recording has started. So we're going to start with the last assignment. Solution to the last assignment. Then we will now continue with today's task. So we want to display, I think 10 to 0. Like 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. I think that's what I asked us to do. So we can do that like this. Starts from 10. High greater than or equal to 0. High minus equals to 2. Console log I. So I will first be 10. Is 10 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. It will console log I. When it's done, I becomes 8. Because this will subtract 2 from I and set it back. Then, is 8 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I, 8. Then, I becomes 6. Is 6 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I. Then, I becomes 4. Is 4 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I. Then, I becomes 2. Is 2 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I. Then, I becomes 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I. Then I becomes minus 2. Is minus 2 greater than or equal to 0? No. So it will terminate. So let's run it and browser. So alternatively, like there are different ways you can go about it. Let's look at another way. This time around, we are going to use the break and continue. Continue to get it done. We'll see how we can use that to get it done. So what we want to do is this. We will leave this as I minus minus. I will first be 10. Is 10 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I, this will console log 10. Then I becomes 9. Is 9 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Console log I, that will console log 9. But we don't want that to happen, so we can do something. We can say if I, that is if the value of I modulo percentage sign modulo 2 if is equal to 1, then continue. So let's see what happens then. Whenever you divide, let's pick these numbers one after the other. If I divide 10 by 2, the remainder will be 0. If I divide 9 by 2, the remainder will be 1. If I divide 8 by 2, the remainder will be 0. If I divide 7 by 2, the remainder will be 1. So what happens is this: when you divide even number by 2, the remainder will be 0. When you divide odd number by 2, the remainder will be 1. And the modulo only deals with remainder. So we can now use this. We can use this and say if I modulo 2 equals to 1, if the remainder is 1, that is, if it's an odd number, when you divide odd number by 2, it will give you the modulo will be 1, the remainder will be 1. So if it is that, continue. So this will skip everything from here to this place, then jumps back up. So let's see what happens. I will first be 10. Is 10 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Now, what is 10 modulo 2? That's 0. So it doesn't meet this condition. It will console log I, which is 10. Then I minus minus, I becomes 9. Is 9 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. What is 9 modulo 2? That's the remainder. And the remainder is 1. 9 divided by 2. That is 4 remainder 1. So it meets this condition. It will continue. It will skip everything here. Then jumps back up. I becomes 8. Is 8 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. Then I modulo 2. 8 modulo 2 is 0. Then it will console log 8. Then I minus minus I becomes 7. Is 7 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. What is 7 modulo 2? That is 1. 7 divided by 2 is 3, remainder 1. So it's going to continue and skip everything. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
it's very, very great.
Yes, sir.
Alright, sir. As okay. Now let's now move to today's class. In our last class, we looked at array. We also looked at loop. We are going to start using them together. Let's go. Let's say I have an array like this. My array, it has this. So we want to do something. We want to come back, because most times when you are using arrays, most times you use them with loops. Most times. So we can do something. How many items do we have in this array?
4 items.
So we can say I less than 4. Don't worry. Okay. Then we can now say now remember something. Remember, if I say my array index 2, what will I say? What will this line 10 give me?
7.
7. Good.
7.
7.
Good. I have, okay, let's take it step by step. So if I run this code, what will I see? If I run this code, what will I see?
Seven.
How many times will I see 7?
Hello?
Hello, sir. If I run this code, what will I see? She said 7, and I said, how many times will the 7 be displayed?
It's once now.
Let's look at it together. How will first be 0? Is 0 less than 4?
Yes.
So it will run the quotes here. The quotes here will display 7. When it's done, I plus plus I becomes 1.
Okay.
Is 1 less than 4?
Yes.
Yes, it will run the quotes here.
Yes.
It will display 7 again. I plus plus I becomes 2. Is 2 less than 4? Yes. It will run the quotes here. It will display 7 again. I plus plus I becomes 3. Is 3 less than 4? Yes. It will display 7 again.
Yes.
Then I plus plus I becomes 4. Is 4 less than 4? No.
No.
It will terminate.
No.
So if we run the code now, we are going to see 7 4 times. That is, when I is 0, we will see 4. When I is 1, we will see 4. When I is 2, we will see 4. And when I is 3, we will see 4. Do we understand?
Yes.
Okay. So let's run it and see. So we have 7 4 times. Let's move on. So if I change this to 8, what will I see on the screen?
7 in 8 places.
Good. 7 in 8 places. Let's move on. If I change this to 2, What will I say?
Two in six places.
Really? Look at it again. What will I say?
Yes, six places.
He said 2 in 6 places. It will be 7 in 6 places, not 2. 7 in. This is my
I said
array.
two in six places.
Yes, I'm saying the answer is 7 in 6 places. My array index 2 is 7.
Sorry. Yes. That's what I wanted to say.
So this is going to display 7 in 6.
Yes, you
places.
are
I've been
right.
talking, so my
Sorry.
mic that was muted. There might be no.
Is
7
that-
in six places.
I've been talking. I didn't know my mic was muted.
You don't know your mind was.
Muted. I was
Okay.
responding to
Oh,
the question.
Okay, let's move on. Let's look at another one. So we can now do something. We can say, I have so this can with this now we see I have 7 shoes 6 times. We see it 6 times. Let's move on. Okay, let's return this back to 0. Then set this back to 4. Now we're going to do something. Instead of putting 2 here, we'll change it to high. So if you run this code, what will I see? Are we together?
I have, yes, sorry, I was speaking. Muted. I came back muted. You are muted. I have 0 shoes. I have 1 shoes. I have 2 shoes. I have 3 shoes.
Sister Moji, if you run this, what will we say? Mr. Jacob, look
Sir?
at it again. Sister Moji,
Oh.
we are waiting for you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I have 5 shoes. And Abi? I have 5 shoes. I have 6 shoes.
Hello,
I have-
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
To not display anything.
Yeah, it will start counting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will be I have 5 shoes, I have 6 shoes, I have 7 shoes,
Yeah. I have 5 shoes. I have
shoes.
6 shoes. I have 7 shoes.
Good. So it's going to display I have 5 shoes, then again it display I have 6 shoes, I have 7 shoes, then I have 8 shoes. That's because I will first be 0.
Eight,
0
yes.
less than 4, yes. It's a console log. I have my array index I is 0. This becomes my array index 0. And the index 0 is 5. So this is going to display I have 5
Oh,
shoes.
Umamu 8 now. That's
When
true.
you are done, I plus plus I becomes 1. Is 1 less than 4? Yes. So it's going to run this again. My array I have my array index I. Since I is 1, so it becomes my array index 1, which is 6. So it becomes I have 6 shoes.
Hmm.
I plus plus I becomes 2. Is 2 less than 4? Yes. I have my array index 2. My array index 2 is 7. So it becomes I have 7 shoes. I plus plus I becomes 3. Then console log I have my array index 3. My array index 3 is 8. So because it gives us I have 8 shoes. I plus plus I becomes 4. Is 4 less than 4? No. So it will terminate the loop. So that's on it. So with that now, we know that this I stands for the index. Next is, what do you think we are going to see if we have this?
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
It will be I have 5 shoes. Yeah, it will be I have 5 shoes. I have 6 shoes.
Is that one?
I have 5
Yes,
shoes.
sir.
I have 6 shoes.
Perfect. Both of you are correct. I have 5 shoes. I have 6 shoes. Right. Let's move on. What do you think we're going to see if this is 1 and this is 3?
I have 6 shoes. I have 7 shoes.
Correct. I hope we are getting it.
Yes.
Okay. So this is I is 1. So that my array index 1 will be 6. So it's going to give us I have 6 shoes. So I plus plus I becomes 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. My array index 2. That becomes 7. This gives my I have 7 shoes. I plus plus I becomes 3. Is 3 less than 3? No, it terminates. Let's look at another one. What if? Let's change this back to 0.
No.
Yes, ma'am. So what are we going to get with this?
That would be. I have 5 shoes. Then I have shoes. Did you get it?
He said I only had the first one.
So I don't get your question, no.
I said if I run this code, what you see on the screen, if I run it, what will I get?
So is this I
I have
plus
5
equal to
shoes.
2 or
I have
I
7
plus
shoes.
plus?
I plus equal to 2. Mr. Jacob, what did you say, sir?
I have 5 shoes. I
Okay.
have 7 shoes.
Correct. Sister Moji, please go over it.
I have 5 shoes. I have 6 shoes. I have 7 shoes.
Look at it again.
Okay. Sorry. Yes, sir. I have 5 shoes. I have 6 shoes. I have 7 shoes.
Okay, let's look at it together. I is 0. Is 0 less than 4? Yes. Console log my array index
Yes.
of I. My array index of I, since I is 0, that is my array index of 0, that is 5. This gives I have 5 shoes. Then I plus equals to 2. I plus equals to 2 is the same as saying I equals to I plus 2. So what is 0 plus 2? I becomes 2. Is 2 less than 4? Yes.
Yes.
Console log my array index 2 because I is
Yes.
now 2. What is my array index 2? That's 7. My array index 2 is 7. So this gives I have 7 shoes. Then it will come here and do this. I plus equals 2. I becomes 4. Is 4 less than 4? No, it will terminate. So if you run it, you're going to see I have 4 shoes. So you're going to see I have 5 shoes and I have 7 shoes. Shall I understand? Show you why.
Sorry, sir. Can you put it again? Sorry.
Okay.
I don't understand the last part. That last part.
I is 0, right? Let's start again. I is 0, right? Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Is 0 less than 4? Good. Since that condition is
Yes.
true. Okay. You know it's going to enter this place, right? Hello, ma. Abi now. I can't hear you. Sister Moji,
I can hear you.
I can't hear her. She said she didn't understand it, so I'm trying to
I
make her
can hear
understand.
you.
I want to be sure you are following. I is 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Is 0 less than 4?
Hello?
Yes. Abi now. 0 is less than 4. It will enter this place around the quotes here. What is
Yes.
my array
Yes.
index 0? Since I is 0, what is my array index 0?
5.
So that gives I have 5
5.
shoes. Do you understand that one?
Yes. Yes.
So it now comes here and it will do I plus
Yes, sir.
equals to 2. Okay. It will do I plus equals to 2. You know I plus equal to 2 equals to I is the same as saying I equals to I plus 2. Abi now.
Yes.
So that means the value of I will change from 0 to 2, right? Since I started at 0, 0 plus 2, that is 2. So I becomes 2. Do you get that part?
Yes. Yes.
Please speak louder, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
It's
you.
breaking.
Okay.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So is 2 lesser than 4 since I is now 2? Is 2 lesser than 4?
Yes.
So since that condition is 2, you know it will enter this
Yes.
place,
It's
right? And
lesser.
run the codes here. So
Yes.
that
Yes.
becomes I have my array. What is the value of I? What is the value of I? Are you with me, ma?
Hello?
I can hear you. I
Yes. What is the value
just
of
kept
I?
me because
Hello?
it is both of it that you are
Yes.
talking.
I can't walk.
You said okay. Your network.
Let's work. Yes.
Okay. I is now 2.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I is now 2.
Hello?
Hello, ma.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I is now 2.
I can hear
My
you
array
now.
index of 2, which is index of I, will be 7. So this gives I have 7 shoes. Then I plus equals to 2. That is 2 plus 2. I becomes 4. Is 4 lesser than 4? Yes. This gives my array. Sorry, is 4 lesser than 4? No. So it will terminate the loop. Let's move on.
No.
Next is this. This is what we want to do. Now, if I put 7 here, what are we going to get?
It's going to be I have I have 5 shoes, I have 6 shoes, I have 7 shoes, I have 8 shoes, and it will terminate there.
Okay. Now let's see what happens. How we start at 0. Is 0 lesser than
Mm-hmm.
7? Yes. It becomes I have
Yes.
my array index of I, that is 5. I have 5 shoes. Then I becomes 1. Is 1
Mm-hmm.
lesser than 7? Yes.
Two.
Then my array index of
One.
1, I have 6 shoes. Then I plus I becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than 7? Yes. I have my array index of 2, which is 7. I have 7 shoes. I plus I becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 7? Yes. My array index, my array index of 3, that is, I have 8 shoes. Let's now be patient here. I becomes 4, right? Is 4 lesser than
Yes.
7? Yes. It
Yes.
means it will enter this place and run the code here. What is my array index of 4? Now, this array does not have index 4. It doesn't get to 4. I've been now. The last index is 3. This is 0. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. So, my array index of 4 will be undefined. So, this gives I have
Okay.
undefined shoes. I plus I
Okay. Okay.
becomes 5. Yes, sir.
I'm saying okay.
So I becomes 5. Is 5 lesser than 7? Yes. My
Yes.
index of 5 is undefined. So to give I have undefined shoes. I plus I becomes 6. Is 6 lesser than 7? Yes. My index of 6 is undefined. I have undefined shoes. I plus I becomes 7. Is 7 lesser than 7? No. So it terminates the loop. Let's solve it together. Let's move on. So that means we can't just put any number here. That's what I'm trying to show us. You can't just put any number here because it's going to affect these results. And most times, you are not going to be the one in charge of your array. Most times, when you are dealing with arrays, loop allows you to relate with each item in the array. With this loop now, I'm able to relate with each item in this array. It allows us to do that. But imagine you are not the owner of this array. Imagine you are getting this array from somewhere. Maybe from your database, or you are getting it from somewhere else. In fact, because in reality, there is high chance that you won't be the owner of the array. Meaning you'll be getting it from somewhere. So, if you're getting it from somewhere, imagine this array stands for the array of users. What do I mean? Look at this. Imagine I'm getting this array from database, which is the array of users, people that have registered in my application, and I want to display the name of each of them, something like this, to say welcome. Since the first user is Taye, I'll say welcome Taye. How are you doing?
You say kilo happen.
You said?
I said welcome Taye kilo happen.
Okay, kilo happen. Okay, let's do that. Kilo happen. So for the next one also, the next one will be Kenny. Let's extend it. Let's say this. So we have 5 users here. We want to greet each of them. Now, if this is 7, then there will be a problem. Because when after displaying hello Taye kilo happen, and when we get to the end, to pass the koja, I have to display hello undefined kilo happen. Do we understand?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we have this welcome undefined kilo happen. So let's fix that. It means somehow this needs to be 5.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's lesser than 5, let's say it's 3. What do you think we will say?
will terminate at Alaba.
Sir?
It will terminate. The loop will terminate at Alaba and will not cater for the remaining one.
Like, it will terminate after displaying Idowu. Like this is 3.
Okay, yeah, three.
So it will
Less
terminate
than three.
after
Three.
Idowu. But maybe you want to display all your users, all of them. So it means this needs to be 5. Now the problem here is now this. Since you are not the owner of this array, it means it can be longer or shorter. Imagine while you are running, after writing this code, a new user now registered in my application. Will I quickly run to my code and say, oh yeah, become 6? Let's say we now have a new user. Are we going to quickly run to our code and say, yeah, put 6 here? Or let's say you are the owner of Facebook and millions of people are registering every second or every day. So every day we quickly come to our code. Hello, Sister Moji. So are we going to?
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Don't worry, you watch the recordings after the class. If you are
Like the
partnering with
network
network.
is bad.
Yes, if you are
It's
partnering
just
with
break.
network, the class is being recorded, so you watch it after the class.
Okay.
So imagine you own Facebook and millions of people are registering every second or every minute or every day. So does that mean that you quickly come to your code and start adjusting this your loop every second? And while you are doing that, maybe one of those people registering violated your principle, I mean the terms and condition, and you need to block that user again. You need to remove that person from Facebook. So you quickly come to Facebook again and reduce this number again. Well, if it's like that, the developers will never have rest. They won't. So let's see how to do that. We want to make this flexible so that irrespective of the length, irrespective of the number of items in this array, my loop will still be flexible enough to cope with that. Because most of the time when you're writing codes, you need to put that in mind. That okay, things can change. Even if things change, you still want your code to work very well. Because if you put this as 5, it will work fine as 5. But if you have a new user along the line, if another person should register along the line, then that new user will not be displayed. It's not going to be until I change this to 6. I've been now.
Yes.
And I can't leave this as 6 before adding this new user. You can, because if it's 6 already, if we leave it at 6, then this will display undefined. So that gives us a little problem, a little challenge that we need to quickly fix. To fix that, what we can just do is this. We say my array.length. So this length counts the number of items in the array. Now I have, how many items do I have in this array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is like saying I lesser than 6. This is same as saying I lesser than 6. But instead of putting 6 here, you write my array.length because my array.length is 6. Now, if for any reason, if this array should reduce, then my array.length is now 5. I don't need to adjust anything. I don't need to. Because this is my array.length and it is now 5. This is like saying I lesser than 5. And if new user should register, new 2 users, my array.length is now 7. So somehow your loop is adjusting itself to the length of this array.
The length of the array.
Do we understand it?
Yes.
This is what happens. Sister Moji asked the question in our last class that how is it that when you get to the end of like the music on your phone will continue, start from the beginning and it will play till it gets to the end. This is how it happens. It's going to calculate the length The length is the number of musics there. I mean the number of songs there. So it's going to count the number of songs. If you just use the length and put it here. So when it gets to that length, it will stop. It knows that you've gotten to the end. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alright, now let's move on. Let's move on. Next thing is this. We have this. Next thing I want to do is I have a question. I only want to see I want to see all of them except Alaba. Again, I want to see all of them except Alaba. Alaba is at 0, 1, 2, 3. So I want to see all of them except the person at index 3. I want to see all of them except the person, I mean, the user at index 3. That is the fourth user. This is the first user, second user, third user, fourth user. So I don't want to see the user at index 3. How do I go about it?
You will use an if condition,
Yeah, so yeah, use this
and you will continue.
You're telling me what to do.
Okay, you use the if condition.
Okay.
If
Okay.
yes, if my array index 3, then console dot continue continue, yes, continue. So let me,
Like this.
yeah, sort
Okay.
of.
Let's
I'm
run this
kidding,
and
Moses.
see. Oh, we had not seen anything. Hamilton.
Now, no, please don't do that. Go back to it. Let me go and see what's a lot.
Let me first explain why this is not displaying anything, so that you will know what to do. High is 0, right?
Yeah.
Is 0 lesser than the length? I think the length of this is 0. Oh no, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Is 0 lesser than 7? Yes. If my array index 3, what is my array index 3? That is Alaba. What you are saying here is if Alaba, and remember Alaba is 2T. Remember 2T and 4C.
Okay.
Alaba is 2T. So it will continue and it's going to skip everything and jump here. I becomes 1. If Alaba again, because you wrote my array index 3. If Alaba is 2T also, it will continue. Jump. Yeah. Do you understand why it's not working?
Yes.
Okay. So what should we do? I don't want to see the value at index 3. Whatever is at index 3, don't display it.
We use dot pop.
We use
Pop.
index
Array
4
method pop.
like this.
No, I mean array
Okay.
method pop. Pop.
Pop.
Yes, sir. So you will not put index 3.
You now put index 3. Okay. Okay. Now,
Mr. Taiwo,
yes, sir.
okay, can we say
Let
if
me first
my
address this, please, sir. Please, sir. Let me first
no,
address
let me take care of it.
it. Okay.
Can we say that console.log should print first before the condition? Now we are taking console.log outside the if condition.
Like this.
Yes. Then now if my array index is equal to
If my
array equals
okay,
alaba,
if my
if
array
my array index I,
if
that's
my
square
array
no square bracket, yes, square bracket I,
index I
yes,
equals
equals 3
alaba like
3
this,
3
abi?
no, not alaba, equals 3.
Is it like this?
No, equals 3, not alaba.
Okay. Okay. Like this?
Yes. Go on, continue, man.
Okay. Let's run it and see the results.
See.
We still have everything. Let me explain why this is. But before we move on, let me quickly explain what Sister Munji said the other time and why that one will even throw back an error. So we should do something like this. Pop, then we'll put 3 here. Pop doesn't work like this. Pop is not a parameterized function. And what pop does is it will remove the last item. So it will remove I know from this array. 1. Then if you want to remove something, I asked us to read on shifts and read on other array methods. There are other array methods. Read on it, you will understand this thing. But the way pop works is it doesn't pop will just remove the last item. So if you try to put it like this, it's not going to. I'll expect it to back an error. Okay, it's popping is okay 0. I'm coming. It's popping the last 3 item. It's removing the last item. Like I know what she was trying to do is she wanted to remove this item out of the whole array. Now let's remove the 3rd item from the whole array. But shift we do that. If you read on shift, yeah. But that's not even what we get. We really do what we really need for tonight's class. Now, Mr. Jacob said we should do something like this. Now, the reason this will not work is this. High is 0. Is 0 less than the length of this array? Yes, is 0 is lesser than 7. My array, index 0, that is Taye. It will do welcome Taye. Now, let's look at this condition. What is my array? Index of I, that is Taye. So you are checking if Taye is equal to 3. Continue. So it will skip all of this, and of course there is nothing to even skip. Even let's assume this is even 3. Let's assume this is even 3 and 0 is equal to 3 and everything. And you write continue. It will just keep all of this and it doesn't have any effect. It will just jump here. Do you understand? It will, even if you continue, even if the continue works as we want, it will skip everything from that continue to the end of the loop and jumps back up. So it would have displayed it even before seeing the condition. It would have displayed that alaba even before seeing this condition. Do you understand it?
Yes, I get that.
Okay. So what else should we do?
Okay then. Now, what if console.log? Oh, okay. I remains type. Please let me see the output again. Let me see the output again on your screen.
You should display everything.
Okay, take it back, please. And then we should we should make I equal. You should check for alaba then. If I becomes alaba, it's just that it is not dynamic. It will have been like we have forced it to that condition.
Okay. Now we should put this
So
to alaba.
I equals
Abi
alaba in the string.
Is it?
Yes. I equals alaba.
If you say I like this, I
No,
equals
what I know, kò ń ṣe nǹkan tí mo mean yẹn.
Like
If
this.
3 here change the alaba.
like this.
Yes, ẹ wá yọ console.log kẹfì sí gbogbo ìlú.
Yes, this will give us the results. You are right.
The gbogbo ìlú.
This will give us the results. But it is not dynamic, as you said. It is not. But then this will give us the result because I first be 0, then it will check this. Your 0 is lesser than 7. Mare index I, that is Mare index 0, that is Taye. It will check if Taye is Alaba. Continue. And since Taye is not Alaba, it's not going to enter this place. It will just log this. So it will continue like that till it gets to Alaba, till it gets to this place. And the index of this is 3. So is 3 lesser than 7? Yes. What is Mare index 3 Alaba? Is Alaba equals to Alaba? Yes. It will continue. It will skip everything. Yes, you are right. This will give us. But let's make it dynamic. What we want is this. We don't want to display the value at index 3. The reason this is not dynamic is that if I come here and what is at index 3 is no longer Alaba, if it's Shade, then this code will not, it's not going to work again. It won't. So we want to make it dynamic so that whatever is at index 3 will not be displayed. Whatsoever is at index 3 will not be displayed. So we're going to do something. We'll come here, and this solves the problem. Now, I stands for the index. So you're saying that if the index is 3, continue. Let's run it together. Let's see the explanation together. I is 0. Is 0 lesser than 7? Yes. Is 0 equals to 3? No. It will console log Mare index I, that is index 0. Taye kilo happen. Then I becomes 1. Is 1 lesser than 7? Yes. Is 1 equals to 3? No. It will console log Mare index I, index 1, Kenny kilo happen. I becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than 7? No. Yeah, yes. Is 2 equals 3? No. Console log Mare index 2, that is Ido kilo happen. I becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 7? Yes. Is 3 equals to 3? Yes. Continue to skip everything and jump here. I becomes 4. Is 4 lesser than 7? Yes. Is 4 equals to 3? No. Console log Mare index I, which is Jacob, kilo happen. I plus plus I becomes 5. Is 5 lesser than 7? Yes. Is 5 equals to 3? No. Console log Mare index of 5, that is Tolu, kilo happen. I plus plus I becomes 6. Is 6 lesser than 7? Yes. Is 6 equals to 3? No. Console log Mare index of 6, which is Aino, kilo happen. I plus plus I becomes 7. Is 7 lesser than 7? No, it will terminate. So whenever you are dealing with the index, what you are searching for, if it is index, just use the variable here directly. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
So this is fine. So even if you have another name at this index 3 now,
Can you please let's check if we put let's check a value. Igbogbo inu.
okay, let's check for a value. What we want to do now is we want to do something. We want to skip all Taye in the code. We want to skip all Taye. Don't display any Taye you see there. So let's add about 2. Can add another one here. So we want a situation whereby all the Tayes will be skipped. Display every name here except Taye. So now we are dealing with the values, each of these values. So we can now say if Mare index of I, if it's Taye, then continue. This will give us. I want us to know that when you are dealing with index, just put the index here, I. But when you are dealing with the values, then you write it like this. Let's take
That's gotten.
Do you get it, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will first be 0. Is 0 lesser than 7? Yes. Mare index of I, that is Mare index of 0. Mare index of 0 is Taye. It will now check if Taye is equal to Taye, and of course, since Mare index of 0, which is Taye, since it's the same as this Taye, then it will continue. It will skip everything. I plus plus I becomes 1. Then is 1 lesser than 7? Yes. Mare index of 1, which is Kenny. Is Ken equals to Taye? No. It will console log. It will come here and run the codes here. That is welcome Kenny kilo apple. I plus I becomes 2. Then is 2 lesser than 7? Yes. What is my array index of 2? My array index of 2 is Taye. Is Taye equals to Taye? Yes. It will continue to skip everything. So till it gets to the end of the array. So with that now, we are not going to see any Taye. We will see others except the Taye. Ṣé ó yé dáadáa? Ṣá lè tẹ̀síwájú?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Next, we want to. Sometimes we do use something called nested arrays. Nested arrays. That is array inside array. We call this multi-dimensional arrays. We have 2D arrays, we have 3D arrays, we have 4D, we have 5D. I don't know like that. Let's start with 2D. This is an array. Inside this array, we can have another array. So this is 2D array. Look at this, you understand this better. Let's comment out all of this. If I say my array index of 0, what will I get? If I say console log my array index of 0, what will I get? Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you now.
Console log my array index of 0. What are we going to get?
In square brackets 7, 8, 9.
Good. We have this square braces 7, 8, 9. Sister Moji, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. So the name is network or network.
Yeah, I understand.
And you took some time to eat amala.
No, it's network. I'm serious. I'm not eating.
Don't you lie. Don't you lie.
Mr. Jacob is just joking. Don't mind him. So if I say my array index 1, we have this array 3, 12, 4. Now what if we want to see 8? I want you to display this 8. So what you're going to do is you need to first pick out this array. Then you now say from the result of this array, like this, let's assign the result to a variable for A equals to my array index of 0. We can now say console log A index 1. Do we understand? My array index of 0 is this array. So this is like saying A is this. We can now get the index 1 of this. So this will now give us 8. Shall I show you one?
Yes, Oyewa.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's on it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, alright. So we have this. Let's move on. We can also say, we can now condense that together. Instead of first writing this line, we can say my array index of 0. Since we know my array index of 0, we point to this array. Then when you get the array, now extract the index 1. Do we get it? It's still the same thing. But instead of first assigning it to a variable, we decide to condense things together. What you're saying is this. My array index 0, it gives this, it returns this one. When you get the array, then get us the index 1 out of it. So this will still give us 8. So this is a 2D array. An array inside array. We can have 3D array. array inside array inside array. You can have 4D array, array inside array, index array inside array. So nothing like that. Let's assume there's another array inside this place now. Then let's say Peter. This is a 3D array. This is an array. So this is an array inside another array. This is a 3D array. Shall you understand? So let's see how to also write nested
Yes,
loop.
sir.
Okay. Let's see how to write nested loop. We've looked at array, nested array. We want to look at nested loop. Then we'll now combine them together and we call it a day. So nested loop is a loop inside another loop. So I will remove everything. Then we have I. Let's use a small number. So let's put another loop inside it. Now we can't use I here because if you want to, let's assume, look at it. Let's if you use I here, let's say this is 4, and we set this as I. If I come here and I say console log I, should it use this word or should it use this word? That's going to be a problem because of course it's going to use the last one. That means we won't be able to make use of this variable I inside this inner loop. Do we get it?
Yes.
So that's how we are changing this to another variable. So that in case we need both I and J, we can do that. So I is 0. This is how it works. I is, when you run this code on the browser, it's going to say variable I is 0. Is 0 lesser than 3? Yes. Console log I 0. Then if you now see another loop, I come again. When you run this, it will first do this. I is 0. Is 0 lesser than 3? Yes. So it means enter this place and run the codes. Yeah. Now, let me space things out a bit. Especially this part. Yeah. So it's going to say I is 0. 0 lesser than 3? Yes. Then run the code here, console log I, which is 0. Then it will see this loop. When it gets here, see another loop. Oh, you are getting another variable J. So it will do this again. J is 0. Is J lesser than 4? Yes, 0 is lesser than 4. So it will enter this place again. It will now say console log I. What is I? Kini I?
Yes, yes.
What is I?
That was, yeah.
Sir? Hello, sir. Is anybody with me? Oh yeah, oh, are we with me?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Please bring back the screen.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Moniki ni I.
Hello, I'm so sorry. So I will be. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I will be 012.
No, let's come again. Let's say we run this code on the browser. What JavaScript is going to do is this. If you say variable I is 0, is 0 lesser than 3? Yes. Because that condition is true, it will enter this loop. Abi now.
Oh, yes. I will be executing the value inside it and
So
the
it will
the loop
enter this
inside it.
place. Good. So console log I, this is console log 0. Then if you now see this line, here we have variable j is 0. Is 0 lesser than 4? Yes. It will enter this loop again. So what is, if you now see console log I, comma j, what is I?
I will be
What is the value of I?
0 náà ni. Ṣebí
Because mo fẹ́ gbọ́
value
I is 0.
mo get
What
here.
is j?
J will be 0 too.
0, good. So this is going to give us 0, comma 0. Do we get it?
Yes. Yes.
Let's now be patient and see what happens next. Now, after running this line, it's going to run everything till it gets to the end of this loop. Tó bá ti lè dé ìparí bíbí, on getting to the end of a loop, it will go back to the beginning of that particular loop. So, that means it will go back to line 13. I can make it.
Okay.
On getting to the end of this loop, it will go back to the beginning of that particular loop. The reason it will come back here to line 10 is because it's yet to get to the end of this loop. Continue the line 21.
Okay. Yes,
Do we understand?
Yes, it's clear.
So, after saying 0, 0, if you come to the end of this loop, then go back to the beginning of that loop again. So, if you come here and say j plus plus, j becomes
0,1.
So it's 1 less than 4. Yes. Console log I, what is I?
0.
0. What is j?
1 now.
1. So it's console log 0, 1. Then see it come to the end of this place and come back up. So j becomes 2. Is 2 less than 4? Yes. It's console log 0, 2. Then again j plus plus, it becomes 3. Is 3 less than 4? Yes. It's console log 0, 3. Then j plus plus, j becomes 4. Is 4 less than 4? No. It will terminate the loop now because this condition is no longer so. So gba tó bá terminate láṣẹ tó run gbogbo code tó bá kù maybe if there's any code here, it's going to run all of these codes. Then it will now come to the end of this loop. Do we get it?
Yes.
So when we get to the end of this loop, it will now jump back to the beginning of that loop.
1, 0, 1,
so
1,
it will now
1,
going
2.
to say I plus plus. I will now change to 1.
Yep.
Is 1 lesser than 3? Yes.
Yes.
It will consider log I, which is 1. Then it will see this loop again and start afresh. It will set the value of j to 0. It's going to say 0 less than 4. Yes.
1, 0, 1,
It will
1,
enter
1,
this
2,
place
1,
again.
3.
1, 0. Then when it gets to this place, comes back to
1,
the top of this
1.
place, becomes 1. Is 1 lesser than 4? Yes. It will come to this place and consider log 1, 1.
1,
Then
2.
becomes 2. 2 lesser
1,
than 4.
3.
Yes. It becomes 1, 2. Then 3. 2 lesser than 4. 1, 3.
1, 3.
Becomes 4. Is 4 lesser than 4? No. If you terminate the loop and run the code here, then it will come to the end of the loop. Then jumps back up.
2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3.
2. So this becomes 2, 1, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. When it's done, it will come to the end of this place and jumps back up. I becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 3? No. So it terminates the whole loop now. Show you one.
It's very clear. Very, very clear.
Okay. So let's run this and see the result of the browser. So I can remove this down. I just use that to return.
The GYFY, show my way. Okay.
No more coffee, shall I read? So we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we looked at nested loop and nested arrays. So let's now combine them together. That's the last thing we're going to look at today before our assignment. Variable ARR equals to this. So let's say this is a nested loop. So we want to display all of these values. You first want to display, let's say I have 6 chairs, I have 4 chairs, I have 2 chairs, I have 1 chairs, I have 2 chairs, I have 3 chairs. Now, because it's a nested array, in order to display each item there also, we need a nested loop. So we're going to say the outer loop stands for, it stands for this outer array. The inner loop stands for these ones, the inner arrays. So let's say I is 0, 0 less than arr dot length. What is arr dot length?
2.
2. Good. So that is this. Then let's see how it happens. We are going to bring back the inner loop, but let's take it step by step. We can now assign this to a variable. We can say, maybe you can just give it anything. A equals to arr index of I. So I will first be 0. Is 0 lesser than 2? Yes. A equals to arr index of 0. That is, you are saying A equals to this array. Do you understand? So we now want to loop through this array also and have access to each item within the array. So let's do that together. So instead of saying this, okay, this becomes J, not I now. It becomes J. Then you now say J lesser than A dot length. Shall I understand? So that we want to loop through this now. A dot length. You can now say console log I have J A index J. Oh, this should be J plus plus. So J will first be 0. A index J, that is A index 0, which is 6. This gives I have 6 chairs. When it's done, J plus plus J becomes 1. Is J lesser than the length of A? The length of A is 3. Don't forget, the length of A is 3. So is J lesser than the length of A? Yes. I have A index
4.
J, that is 1. A index 1 is 4. This gives I have 4 chairs. Then J plus plus J becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than the length of A? 2 is lesser than 3. I have A index J, that is A index 2, that is 2. I have 2 chairs. Then J plus plus J becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 3? No, it will terminate.
No.
After terminating, it will now come to the end of this loop. Then jumps back up. I plus plus I becomes 1. Is 1 lesser than arr dot length? Arr dot length is 2. Is 1 lesser than 2? Yes.
Right.
A equals to arr index of I. What is arr index 1? ARR index 1 is now that 1, 2, 3. Is this array. So it will enter this loop again. J is 0. Is J lesser than 3? Because the length of this array is 3. J is lesser than 3, yes. Console log I have ARR index J, that is 1 chess. Then J plus plus J becomes 2. Then J becomes 1. Is 1 lesser than 3? Yes. Then it becomes I have ARR index 1, which is 2. I have 2 chairs. J plus plus J becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than the length of this array? Yes. 2 is lesser than 3. Then it becomes I have A index 2, which is 3. I have 3 chairs. Then J plus plus J becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 3? No. It terminates. Then get to the end of this place. Then I plus plus I becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than 2? No. So it will stop everything. Show you what.
Yes.
Okay, so let's run it and see the results. Okay. You can also shorten it if you want to. If you want to, you can say, well, I think this is clear enough. Don't let me even make it even more confusing. This is clear enough. So you must first, you will, yes, first assigning it to a variable makes it easier to understand by first assigning it to
Mm-hmm.
a variable. Now, assignment. I will send a video to us and you will replicate it. Let's now quickly go to what might give us AO while solving that assignment. I'll quickly do that.
Okay.
So let's deal with just a single array, just one. Oh, sorry, a single loop. Let's deal with that. Then, with that, you'll be able to understand the problem. So you know this will give me 0, 1, 2, 3, Abby,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fine. But imagine I want to display it on the screen. So we create a div, we give it an ID. We can call the ID results. So instead of saying console, let's say results dot inner text equals to I. So you expect that it will display that 0, 1, 2, 3, Abby, just like we saw in the console.
Yes.
But we only have 3. Why is it like this? Let's discuss that together. To understand why it's like this, let's comment out this array and look at something together. We're going to say results dot inner text equals to 1. Then we go to the next line and say result dot inner text equals to 2. If you run this code on the browser, what are we going to see?
It's going to be 1. It's going to be 2 now. 2.
Good. It will be 2. It will first set 1, but when it gets to this one will override it. So imagine we now have result dot inner text equals to 3. So this will display 3 at the end of the day. It first display 1, then display 2, then display 3. But because this thing happens very fast, so we only see the last results. Abina.
Yes. Yes, true.
So we only see the last results. Now this is the same thing happening here. High is 0. Is 0 lesser than 4? Yes. It will enter this loop. Result dot inner text will be 0. Then I plus plus, I becomes 1. Is 1 lesser than 4? Yes. Result dot inner text will be 1. So that one will override the 0. Then I plus plus, I becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than 4? Yes. Result dot inner text equals to 2. Then 2 plus plus, I plus plus, I becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 4? Yes. Result dot inner text equals to 3. That 3 will override it 2. Then I plus plus, I becomes 4. Is 4 lesser than 4? No, it will terminate. So the last thing you set inside this result, the last thing we said there is 3. So that's why when you get to the browser, you only see 3. You understand? Show you.
Yes, yes.
So let's solve that problem together. So what you can do is this. Let's first look at solve it with this one. So that inner text is 1. We can now say, before concatenating these two, first get whatever you meet there.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
concatenate it with 2. You know, since I told you that whenever you use inner text like this, whatever you get is a string. So this plus will not add.
Yes.
It will concatenate 2 with it. Because whatever it sees here will definitely come as a string. So it will concatenate 2 with it. And we can do the same thing here also. So After this set is back, okay, let's see how it works. Let's start afresh. Result.inner text, we first put 1. We are now saying when you get to the second line, get whatever is inside it, which is 1, but it's going to be a string now. Concatenate 2 with it. It becomes 1, 1, 2. It becomes 1, 2. Then set it back. So what you now have inside this place is now 1, 2. So when you get to the third line, get whatever you see inside this place, which is 1, 2. Concatenate 3 with it. It becomes 1, 2, 3. Set it back. So what we now have inside is that inner text is now 1, 2, 3. Do you understand it, sir?
Yes. Yes.
So let's run it on the browser. 1, 2, 3. So that's the same thing we want to do now. So, okay. So before we go to, we can reduce this code like a bit by saying plus equals to. But I won't have to write this again. Like this. So let's do the same thing down here now. So what you're saying is this: high is 0. Is 0 lesser than 4? Yes. Is that inner text equals to. Now there's nothing inside this place, so this will just be empty string. That is, get the initial value and concatenate 0 with it. Since there is nothing, it will just be empty string plus 0. Then it will set it back. So we now have 0 as the value of inner text. I plus plus I becomes 1. Is 1 lesser than 4? Yes. Is inner text equals to inner text plus I, that is plus 1. That is, get the initial value of inner text, which is 0, but it's going to be a string now. Then concatenate 1 to it, making 0, 1. Then set it back. So inner text is now 0, 1. I plus plus I becomes 2. Is 2 lesser than 4? Yes. So say inner text. Remember, we now have 0, 1 as inner text. Concatenate 2 with it, it becomes 0, 1, 2. Then set it back. So we have 0, 1, 2. I plus plus I becomes 3. Is 3 lesser than 4? Yes. Inner text equals to inner text plus 3. That is 0, 1, 2 plus 3. But the 0, 1, 2 will be string. 0, 1, 2 plus 3. Everything becomes 0, 1, 2, 3. Then set it back. Inner text is now 0, 1, 2, 3. I plus plus I becomes 4. Is 4 lesser than 4? No, so it will terminate. So when we check it, we now see 0, 1, 2, 3. Show you?
Yes.
Okay. So you can now also make it to go to another line. Maybe I want this 0 to be on a line, 1 to be on the next line, to just the way we used to have it in console. So we can change this from inner text to inner HTML because we want to write HTML.
So you are connected to it.
Yes, sir. What did you say, sir?
Sorry, it was not you.
Okay.
Forgive me.
So we can concatenate BL so that it can break to the next line. So our assignment, I'll send a link to us. You will watch the video, then you will produce it. It's going to be a very short video, then you will produce it. Alright, any question based on today's discussion?
No question at the moment.
Alright. So in our next class, we're going to solve the assignment together. We have a lot of things to cover. Time is not on our side at all.
It's alright.
Sir?
I said it's alright.
Have a lovely night, sir. I will send the recordings to us. Thank you for coming. Good night, sir. Good night, ma.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Mr. Taiwo Eshezon.
Good night, sir.
Mr.
Thank you, ma.
Yes, sir.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Let me stop.
I want to disturb.